You want more for your kids than you had. And that's the American dream.
Mondale and Ferraro bringing a new fairness to America. While Mr. Reagan tries to slash Medicare, they fight for seniors. While he forces 4 million people out of work, they fight for workers. And on tax breaks,
I refuse to make your family pay more so that millionaires can pay less.
They'll be taking the first step in a new direction for America. Mondale Ferraro, for your future. In this building, Mr. Reagan's people are borrowing the money that's putting each of us $18,000 into debt. Deficit spending. And who walks away with the money? 90,000 profitable corporations that pay no taxes. Defense contractors on bloated budgets. Foreign interests who make money on our debt. What the deficit really means is that you're paying for their free ride. But in November, you can stop it. Mondale Ferraro. They're fighting for your future. With the whole world at stake, it's time to move on, and we must do better. Mondale for president.
What you just saw were 3 advertisements paid for by Walter Mondale in the 1984 election. This form that you see in front of you is a document analysis sheet. You use this form to analyze the document on the next page or on the back of this form. So this form will be used to analyze document A on the back side of the page. At the top of it, you'll see you need to fill in information that comes straight from the document. Before filling out the document analysis sheet, you're going to need to look over the document. So look on the back page at document A. Look over the entire document and circle or highlight key information that you're going to need to know. I've gone ahead and given an example of what you should do for a document A, but for the rest of these documents, you're going to have to do this part on your own. So, document A, you want to underline or highlight or circle that, because that's, what document you're looking at. The source, which it came from a private collection, but you always want to underline or highlight the source. And then read over the note. In the note, it says Walter Mondale. I underlined that or highlighted that because it's who this article is about or who this document is about. The former vice president was the Democratic nominee for president in 1984. I went ahead and highlighted that if he was the Democratic nominee because that let me know which political party he was working or affiliated with. And 1984 because it's always important to know what date you're talking about when looking at these documents. His running mate was Representative Geraldine Ferraro, the first woman nominated to run as vice presidential candidate by a major party. And then below that you'll see 3 different buttons. You need to really look at these buttons and see what they're saying and what kind of message they're trying to send to people. That's analyzing them, when you're really digging deep into what the message is behind the document you're looking at. The one on the left says the retirees support Mondale and Ferraro. The one in the middle says United Paperworkers for Mondale and Ferraro. And the one on the right says Asian Americans for Mondale Ferraro. So obviously these buttons are being provided by the Mondale Ferraro campaign, but they're really pointing out that a lot of different groups happen to, support them, like them. So now you need to go back and look at the top of the document analysis sheet and begin to fill in the key information. Since this is your first document you're analyzing, I've gone ahead and filled in the top of the document analysis sheet for you to show you the way it should look. That way, when you do the rest of these documents on your own, you know what I'm looking for. The document number or letter is document A. The title of the document, I put Walter Mondale, because that's who it's about. The author, the source, it's from a private collection. The date of the document was 1984, because these buttons were made in 1984. And then possible author bias or point of view. Remember, a bias is when you're showing favoritism. So for that box, I put yes, because the buttons were made to support Walter Mondale. So of course there's a bias or there's favoritism because they want people to vote for them. And for the primary or secondary source, I went ahead and marked primary source, because a primary source would be a document from the time. These buttons were the buttons that were being used in 1984. Now, looking at the bottom part of the document analysis, after you've already filled out the basic information. It starts with facts and observations. It says, write down one direct quote or observation from the document that gives you information that helps answer the DBQ question. If you use a quote, make sure you put quotation marks and include the citation. So, on the first page of this DBQ, the question's at the top. It says, campaign propaganda. Which strategies would you use? So this DBQ is about the different strategies or types of campaign propaganda. So looking at the buttons in document A, the 3 buttons on that page, you need to select one quote or one observation that you can make based on those buttons in document A, and you need to write it down on these lines. The second part says put the meaning of the quotation in your own words. Your response should be at least one sentence. So you're writing one sentence in your own words about what that quote or observation means. Inferences. What inference can I make from the fact above? From the fact or observation that you made above at the top, what inference can you make? And make sure it's at least one full sentence. So what inference can I make? What that means is, what exactly does that quote or that observation you wrote about, what does it mean? Like, what point are they trying to get across with that observation or that fact that you wrote down? What are you implying? Argument, the final part at the bottom. How does this document help answer the question? From the fact or observation above, how does this information help answer the DBQ question, which is, which type of propaganda technique would you use? So a bit different type of propaganda strategies. How exactly is the fact or observation you made a propaganda strategy? And make sure to answer in at least one full sentence. After that, you've finished with document A, and it's time to move on to document B. Go ahead and cross out the document analysis sheet for document B, because remember, we're skipping document B. You can also go ahead and cross out document B, because we will not be using this in this DBQ. The next sheet in your DBQ booklet is another document analysis sheet. This is a document analysis sheet that goes with document C. Go ahead and start filling in the top of this document analysis sheet based on the information you take right from document C. Document C is about 2 different propaganda videos played during the Eisenhower election. I'm going to go ahead and play these 2 commercials, and then you'll be analyzing the documents based on these commercials and filling out this document analysis sheet.
Eisenhower answers America.
You know what things cost today. High prices are just driving me crazy.
Yes, my Mamie gets after me about the high cost of living. It's another reason why I say it's time for a change. Time to get back to an honest dollar and an honest dollar.
I'd rather have a man with a hole in his shoe than a hole in everything he says. I'd rather have a man who knows what to do when he gets to be the prez. I love the governor of Illinois. He is the gov that brings the dove of peace and joy. When Illinois, the GOP double-crossed, he is the one who told all the crooks, get lost. Adley, love you madly. And what you did for your own great state, you're gonna do for the rest of the 48. Didn't know much about him before he came. But now my heart's a ballot that bears his name. 'Cause listen to what he had to say. I know that on election day we're gonna choose the gov that we love. He is the gov.
Now you've seen both of the advertisements that you're going to look over on document C. Look through the documents, highlight or underline any key information, and make sure you fill out the document analysis form all the way. After you finish that, you are done with the DBQ for day 2, and you can go back and finish anything you did not complete on day 1.